Then I click got it.
It's all you, man. Why don't you light this candle?
Sure.
Let's go. It's time. Put on play pants.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Play Pants podcast. Wow, a couple of weeks in a row here. I believe this is podcast 86. I am having every possible meltdown of equipment that somebody could possibly have, but still piecing it together, baby. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Play Pants Pod, you see that I'm in a little bit different position over here and things look a little different. I'm using my laptop. It's all good. We'll get it done. We do want to talk a little Foo Fighters. We got a brand new Foo Fighters song dropped on us this morning, and I just went into complete freak out mode and emailing my radio wizard. Dude, we got to get this on the air. Dude, we got to get this on the air. So we did play it this morning. So we'll talk about that. Foo Fighters got a kind of a thing they're doing online on Sunday, which could be very interesting. When this podcast debuts, it will be Thursday, May 18th, 6 years to the date of the passing of Chris Cornell. So we can touch upon that a little bit. I've got some emails I want to read, and Melissa G, thank you. She sent in one of the emails that I am going to share with you, and she's the reason we'll be doing the top 5 favorite Tom Hanks movies. Hello, Jason Ginty.
Dude, how tall are you?
Am I 6 feet tall? Why do I look bigger?
You're six flat. I'm like 5'9", and you know what? You've always have been damn taller, just a little bit taller than me. So we're getting set up because Rod's in his new location in a corner somewhere back. He's backed into the corner like he's being chased by a bear or something. And you know, I set my chair at the same height every week, and I got it set up. It's locked. It's loaded. I walk in, hit some buttons, and here we go every week, right? A little behind the scenes. So I'm sitting here in my chair, and Rod's head's way up here, and I'm like, I cannot be shorter than you. I cannot do it.
You are shorter than me.
No,
I mean, you can be, and you are.
Yeah, but I don't want to appear. You know, it's the whole hey, we're fucking equals here. Let's go. Rod, I got a couple things too I'm going to throw around.
Yeah.
Had an odd conversation with an old friend of mine, and he's got a bit of an issue that wants to get some bro advice. And I thought, well, I happen to know a pretty decent bro, and I thought we could chew the fat on this.
You can run any bro stuff past me.
I thought this would be a good one for the table, for the room. I will not be dropping any names to protect the weird. Yeah, we'll get into that as well. So you want to start with the emails? We should have talked about this beforehand.
Okay. Well, I will start with an email, which this one came in from listener Lee. What up, brother Rod? I was just mowing the yard, listening to y'all's Play Pants podcast, and I think somebody farted during the Aerosmith top 5. That was a couple of weeks ago.
I wouldn't remember.
Now,
pretty funny though.
I'm not saying that I never farted on the podcast, but I don't think I ever farted where it would be picked up by the microphone. He says, Aerosmith top 5, 21 minutes, 13 seconds in. He gave us the timestamp of when he heard what he thinks somebody busted ass on this podcast.
No.
What type of operation are y'all running over there? Ha ha, love the pod. My suggestion for a top 5, I'm sorry, I'm looking on the other side of the room.
It's all right.
Would be, my suggestion for a top 5 would be songs with car sounds or motor sounds in them, or just songs about cars. Ooh. I've got a few in mind that would be in my top 5. For instance, Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue would be in the top 5 for sure, just for the intro. Every time I hear that song, childhood memories going to the Supercross and the Astrodome.
Oh, wow.
They would play that song a few times at those events. Would love to hear what you all would come up with. I definitely found new music because of y'all.
That's why we're here.
Both of y'all. Y'all. There's a lot of y'alls in there.
Well,
didn't we? I don't think I wanted to be painted in the corner, much like I am now. I don't think I wanted to do just cars. Didn't we do a vehicle list?
I think we did a car list, but I don't think we did songs about it. I like the song angle. That's something we might want to throw in there for next time.
Well, we didn't do. Now, hang on a second. He's kind of talking about something very specific. If you think about Kickstart My Heart or think about Bad Motor Scooter,
Bad Motor Scooter would be
Montrose.
There, yeah.
He's talking about songs that actually have car sounds in them. But I'm pretty sure we did a top. I mean, do we need to get Jordan Welch and the Machine in on this?
Yeah, it seems like,
he's the
Panama.
curator.
Panama would have been a song about cars and driving from Van Halen, you know, Bad Motor Scooter. Yeah,
I'm sure I did because I love the Queen song, I'm in Love with My Car.
There you go. I feel like we've had that discussion before, either here or somewhere else.
And Bad Motor Scooter, I'm sure of it because I just said songs, vehicle songs. I'm almost positive we did a top 5 on vehicle songs.
We could easily probably look it up, but we won't. I can't believe we just blew by the Who Farted on the podcast thing so fast.
Oh, yeah. By the way, he says that somebody, he timestamped it for us as well. So if somebody wants to go back and check that podcast out, it was just a couple of weeks ago.
Now, I've got a leather chair. Look.
Same.
There have been times, if you go back and don't, because it'll be a waste of your time, where I will just start laughing in the middle of a sentence when Rod is talking. And it's not because of what you said is enlightening or funny. It's because I shit my pants in the middle of your sentence and maybe it got hurt. So there have been instances where this sort of situation has happened, but no one's ever caught it. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it at that time. So I'm not claiming that timestamp, but if you go back in time, if you see me laughing my ass off for no apparent reason, it's because I just dropped ass.
Okay.
So I will admit I've done it.
I like the suggestions. Here's another one. Nolan, who is listening to the podcast. Since you're looking for podcast topics, I guess I mentioned it on the air this week.
Thank God.
Keep it fresh. Since your daughter London just gave herself a fresh new haircut. More on that in a second. LOL. Every one of my 6 kids have done the same thing, so don't worry. Topic could be which rock band or artist have the best iconic hairstyles. Mine would have to be ZZ Top. Just a little food for thought. Nolan the Giant Blaylock.
That's an interesting one. I got to be honest. You know, I think of A Flock of Seagulls, dude.
Yeah, I mean, iconic hair.
Outside
I mean, the fact that you didn't bring up Harry Styles first. I mean, who's got a better hairdo than Harry Styles right now?
You know what? I will say this out loud as a grown-ass man. I bet it smells good.
Oh, you know it does. You know it does. He probably just rubs berries in it too. He probably doesn't even use he wouldn't use traditional shampoo like you or I, like we use shampoo, but
you know what he uses?
He probably just runs herbs and berries.
No, it's water. It's watermelon juice. I'm pretty sure it's watermelon juice.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to beat Lenny Kravitz when he's got those full dreads. It's kind of hard to beat Lenny Kravitz. That's iconic. It's easier to go and look back at the hair metal days.
Well, that was easy because they all look the same. You think of Cinderella, you know what I mean? Or Poison, just teased up.
David Coverdale had like one of the best lion manes of all time. And I mean, if you go back and if you look at Whitesnake and if you look at Rudy Sarzo and when he had John Sykes in the band, that probably was the best looking group of hair of any of the bands. I distinctly remember the bass player for Cinderella had an awesome palm tree right in the front and then just long, straight down blonde hair. Dude, I remember these things because I was going bald. So I would notice. I'm like, damn, why can't I have that?
Yeah, well, you know, shit happens, right? But yeah, no, Coverdale always had a great wig. You know, Sammy Hagar's wig was always spectacular, you know, massive. And he never really teased it up. It was just his fucking crazy ass hair. You know, he never really spent a lot of time on it.
That son of a bitch still has a ton of hair. I mean, it is crazy how much Sammy is on social media. Unless, I mean, I get it. I mean, I follow his stuff. Are you seeing any of this weird David Lee Roth stuff that he's putting out right now?
No, I'm pretty glad I'm not.
Dude, it's weird. It's a one camera shot. Okay. It's kind of like how Britney's videos are weird. You know, Britney's Instagrams with her weird jerky dance moves and stuff.
Dude, get her some more help.
So Diamond Dave must have a stage at his house and he's just kind of lip syncing and gyrating and dancing. And sometimes he'll bring out a sword and he's marching to songs. And it's just Dave being Dave. It's really fucking weird. Once you watch and stop one video, you'll start getting them in your feed then.
Oh, no.
And you'll see. And that means you're probably not following David Lee Roth on, and it's Facebook. He's old, but go check it out. I mean, it's David Lee Roth. He's David Lee Roth. I mean, there's only one. There's absolutely only one. But I mean, he had a great mane back in the day.
He did have I just saw another old 70s picture in peak Van Halen, and it's like they just were fucking awesome rock stars. Look, they had the look, the sound. They were the ones who really put it all together. You know what I mean? Like they just went, yeah. And then being fucking handsome helps. Wouldn't know. But you know what I mean? Like it really helps a lot for those guys. I mean, unbelievable. Their hair, the whole thing back in the late 70s. Those pictures were so fucking cool, man. Anyway.
All right. Well, I like that. Thank you. I like that. And then Melissa Goolsby, last email. Brother Rod, I suggested a few podcasts back, top 5 Tom Hanks, top 5 Robin Williams movies. What are your thoughts? Both are great actors and both have made great movies. Love, Melissa G. So that was the one that kind of caught your eye, and you immediately said, oh, man, Tom Hanks. So you wanted to do that. So I'm down for talking some Tom Hanks movies today.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I would love to do Robin Williams too, but I know that Hanks just busted out a book that he wrote. So I'm like, well, he's kind of in the news. Why not we hit a little bit more of a hotter topic right now? But I do want to do the Robin Williams in the near future as well. 2 great ideas.
Let me ask you this. Something that recently had come up that we were talking about. Would you find the person weird if they went out of their way to say that they didn't like Tom Hanks? Wouldn't it be their problem?
Yeah, like anything else. Yeah.
That's a red flag. If somebody told you that they don't like Tom Hanks, like, I don't like that person, right?
I mean, you might not like a couple of movies that he's been in, or maybe he comes off as a little cocky sometimes in interviews because he's just being, at this point, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. There was a clip of him a few years ago about something about someone asked him, like, what do you do with your Oscars? Because he's got 2 of them, right? He says, well, the first one really meant a lot. It was great. And then he says, the second one, I literally just duct taped it as a hood ornament to my Mercedes or whatever. That was kind of the joke.
Funny. That's not, I don't think that's cocky. I think that's funny.
Hysterical, man. It was Tom Hanks's delivery. So it wasn't cocky at all, but it was funny. But I could see where sensitive people would get upset about that. No, you're right. If someone said, I don't like Tom Hanks, I'd be like, what do you like then?
There's only a couple of people, and the ones off the top of my head, because Tom Hanks was one of them. You don't have to like her music, but who doesn't like Dolly Parton?
Right.
And then the other one, and then it hit me like Betty White.
Betty White.
If you tell me that is a massive red flag, it's like telling me you don't like puppies. It's just it's a red flag. Like, you're a weirdo. That's your problem if you don't like Tom Hanks.
Or, right now, I mean, in the last few years, Keanu Reeves, too. I mean, he's like this awesome dude, donates money and time, and he just makes these awesome movies. And it's like, how do you not like that guy, too? Really, when you think about it? Yeah,
well,
you're right.
I do like the internet buzz for Keanu Reeves, man. He is just an awesome dude. Yeah. He is an awesome dude.
It's great.
And I think there's a lot of celebrities that do a lot of good things, and they don't always demand the camera be on them when they're doing it and passing out a bottle of water to somebody that just, had their house ruined in a hurricane. But Keanu Reeves really never, ever, ever. I mean, can you imagine, just because we caught him doing such really amazing gestures and acts of kindness, can you imagine what we don't know because he doesn't actively put the stuff out there on social media? I mean, there's some celebrities that every time they do anything, it's like, they bring their own camera crew with them.
Right. Yeah,
he doesn't do that.
If somebody said, I don't like Tom Hanks, you're right. That would be like, what do you like then? And how many people are buried in your backyard? You know what I mean? Because that would be a little bit disturbing. I see what you're saying there. Rod, the Foo Fighters song came down today, the new one. It came out of nowhere. And the first one, Rescued or Rescue Me, I should know.
Rescued,
Rescued came out, and we were like, what? I love the song. We're playing it a million times. It's #1 on the alt charts, the active rock charts. So it's obviously done what it was supposed to do, and it's a good song. Well, then today, another new song is released, and it is called Under You, and it's fucking great as well.
It's better.
Yeah, it is better.
It's better. So when the song came down, I knew that it was coming out today because I just saw it on social media yesterday. It said, hey, we got a new song coming out. So I put a preview on the music blog page yesterday. I said, hey, Foo Fighters got a new song. I just assumed that, my big, massive iHeartRadio, I just figured they'd be on it. No, not on it. So the song came out about 7:40, 7:45. And I'm like, oh, geez, it doesn't have 3,000 views yet. Okay. By the time I get over to YouTube, and it was actually before. So it was about 7:35. And I just said, wow, I hope there's no swearing in this. And I'm not supposed to do this. I am not supposed to go with live audio off of my laptop.
No, there's many things that can go wrong.
I had not previewed this song. I had not done anything. I said, hey, you guys want to hear the new Foo Fighters song? And I played it and I potted it up on the board from my laptop. And I'm just praying that there's no cussing in it.
Right.
And from that little clip, and of course, I'm really, really listening, right? And I never listen to lyrics, but I'm really listening to see if he swears. In that minute, I played it for about a minute and a half. Right there, I declared, it's better. This is a superior song than what he has already given us. And then when you start dissecting, because I was listening to the lyrics, which I never do, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy.
This is an absolute open letter to Taylor Hawkins, which, I got some thoughts on that as well. But, it's there's some songs that make you dig and you wonder, I wonder if that's about that and if that's about that. No, it's just, I wish you were here and we were smoking cigarettes together. I mean, it's just, I need to be hit over the head. And that's exactly what I was. I was hit over the head. So by 8:20, 40 minutes later, we got our shit together. And then I ended up playing it on the air this morning and took phone calls and took all the emails and everything, and just overwhelming, dude. People were bawling.
Yep.
They said, Rod, I'm typing this and I'm crying.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great song. The lyrics are absolutely amazing. If you watch the lyric video, it's great. It's funny because usually when you have a band of this caliber, and you know how this goes, the record label is going to push it out to the program directors like the Radio Wizard and me and the other PDs around the country and go, hey, here's a brand new Foo Fighters. Like the first single came out and it was like, holy shit. And we scrambled as fast as we could get it and put it on the air. No problem. This came out. We didn't really get much of a heads up. I didn't get anything from the label. They didn't say, hey, we're going to have another new song tomorrow.
I think it was just on their Instagram.
YouTube's, yeah. And then the YouTube was where they released the whole song, right?
Correct. But yesterday on Instagram, they said, hey, we got something new coming out tomorrow. So, and that was it. I was surprised that it wasn't more.
Well, that's what
stories and everything. It was kind of quiet.
So what I'm kind of getting to here is that then same thing with me. I listened to it with my son on the way to school. I'm like, dude, we got brand new Foo Fighters. Check this shit out. And he's like, whoa, that's really good. That is really good. He goes, ooh, those lyrics are heavy, man. I go, yeah, it's about Taylor, obviously, right? So then this was at we all heard it off of YouTube at 7:40 in the morning or whatever it was. Okay, great. At 9:40 a.m., this is 2 hours later, I get an email from the record label, as did all the PDs, at the same time, at 9:40. Hey, in case you missed it, the Foo Fighters have announced a new single. It's out now, and it's online. I emailed back, hey, this is awesome. Because we're supposed to only be playing really high quality dot waveforms on the air, MP3s, no bullshit, right? I said, hey, this is great. You sent me all the links to all this shit, and you didn't send me a wave file that I can download so we can play it on the air. Can you maybe do that? This is me going back and forth with the label. And they're like, yep, stand by. And then I'm like, hey, I just want to spin it a few times. Because here's what, behind the scenes, let's go back into the weeds a little bit. Go behind the curtain a little bit. You see, the first single is out there. It's number one. But now what they want to do, now that once you get a song number one, you want it to stay number one for multiple weeks. So you can, that's a big selling point down the road, right? So they want this thing to sit at number one for 10 weeks or whatever they want to do, right? So what happens is, because this new song has been played for weeks now, they release a new one. They're afraid all the radio program directors are going to pull that one down and start playing this other one. Because you've only got so much room on the air for so many Foo Fighters songs, right? So I said, hey, I appreciate you sending me the high quality link. I just want to play it a few times because radio needs to do these types of things still, which read between the lines. Hey, what the fuck? Why didn't you send this shit to us last night?
Right.
Like, I'm arguing.
Well, that's the Foo Fighters. They wouldn't have allowed that. So.
Exactly. But hey, why not send it out so I can play it on the air? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And this is why I fought a little bit. It's because, we've had this conversation, radio, a dying dinosaur on the vine. Well, these are those little hills that we can still fight on. That's why I fought back a little bit. Like, hey, we can do more for you than your little internet at this point, right? We can still bang shit. We can still get it out there. And that's why I went and fought a little bit on this hill for what we talk about multiple times on these episodes,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, radio is not dying. It's doing quite well.
Yeah. I was obnoxious with my boss this morning. I'm like, bro, work it out. Let's go. What are we doing? And I knew, because something fucked up with Metallica, with them releasing the Metallica, and somehow it didn't get out to radio the way that it was supposed to. And I ended up playing Lux Eterna off my laptop on the air for the first spin. Yeah. I wasn't waiting. I said, we listened to it. It was a clean. And I said, listen, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. Now it's different because I'm excited and I'm like playing it up with everybody. And, people know that I'm excited about a new Foo Fighters song. There's not another radio station in the market that's going to beat me to it.
Right.
That's what it used to be like back in the day. But I still have that. We got to get this on the air, though. We've got to get it on and let people hear it, because I think it's special. Radio is magic. And if you go back to when you and I were young and you heard a brand new song on the radio, and if you can remember hearing songs for the first time, I still want to create that. No other radio station in this market is going to beat me to it, but YouTube is going to beat me every time. Because Foo Fighters put it on their own YouTube channel. And that's great. And I'm sure people still get excited about listening to shit on the computer, but I want to keep the magic while I'm on watch in the morning from 6 to 10. I'm still trying to create that magic. The thing that got me excited when I was not only a kid, but like on to when I was older, and hearing these things and these announcements and songs and concert announcements. That's me genuinely excited about that stuff, because I used to be excited about hearing them.
Right.
So that's why I get crazy like you were. We got to get this on the air. I don't want somebody to go fucking listen to it on YouTube.
Well, then
I want to share it. I want to hear it with them for the first time. I want you to pick up the phone. I want you to call me because I am live in the studio. I want to talk about it. What'd you think of this line? What'd you think of the song? Did you like it? Did you hate it? That's so important to me to do that while I'm live on the air for those 4 hours.
Right. And it's important to radio in general. Like there was another band that I did some stuff for, and I did all this prep work with them. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. So, give me the song. I'll world premiere it. Right. I'm like, hey, we're cool with that. Right. Like, I'll play it first. And everyone else will get it. The world will get it, all this stuff, because of all the prep work we were doing with the band for the launch of the song. And I said, no, we're going to deal with YouTube. So I think there's probably, like, I would sit there and go in my immediate thinking, like, hey, why aren't we going as a radio collective group, right? iHeart, Odyssey, Cumulus. Those are the three bigs. And I'll go, hey, record labels, how about you give us an hour? Give us an hour. Send us these big songs. Give us 1 hour to all get our shit together, get it all on the air, let her do our thing, and then release it to the World Wide Web. Help radio still remain a little bit relevant with some of these acts, but there's probably so much money and all these other contracts as I'm thinking this in real time. with YouTube and then your channels that you want to have it first. So people do dive on your YouTube channel. Maybe that's the problem, probably, right? Am I thinking that right?
You are thinking that right. They want the hits. They want the hits on their personal channels. It's
right. Which they would still get them. They would still get them.
Correct.
But that radio has to come together with the labels and go, guys, come on. Give us 1 hour. 1 fucking hour.
So this Sunday, 2:00 Central Time.
Yep.
And I know you got the URL over there. The Foo Fighters are going to do something online. And I don't know much about it. It looks like it's a little behind the scenes as they are maybe rehearsing, as they're getting ready to go on this tour. I think the title of it kind of alludes to like getting ready to go on tour. And I think this is where we're going to find out who the drummer is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how do you not? At this point, they're going to be rehearsing. It's recordings of them rehearsing for this upcoming tour. A few surprises along the way, they say. That's really what it is.
What's the URL?
It's going to be on Sunday, 8 p. I'm sorry, Sunday, May 21st.
It's 2:00 Central Time.
2:00 Central Time. The URL is Foo Fighters. .veeps veeps.com. I'll put the link up here when we post it. foofighters.veeps.com. I think it's gonna be cool as shit, and I think this is where we find out about the drummer situation, whatever it may be.
I'm doubling down on all of my comments earlier, and this is where you take chances, but I think I'm doubling down on everything that I've already said. After listening to Under You today and listening to Dave and looking at those lyrics and hearing Dave pouring his heart out and sharing his feelings with us, no fucking way is some new guy gonna play the drums on that song.
No.
It's no way. Now, Dave can't do it live, and he's going to, and moving forward, he will get a drummer, take him on the road, obviously, and then, then he's going to allow him to do the stuff in the studio, I think. No fucking way is not even Josh Freese. He's not playing on this album. This is Dave's tribute to Taylor.
Yeah.
So what it used to be is Dave was the drummer on that first album, and he was actually the drummer on the second album. Then Taylor became the touring drummer and then officially joins the band, and then Taylor does all the drums going forward. Now, Taylor has talked about this back in the day. He's like, damn, I'm in a band with Dave Grohl. He's one of the all-time great drummers. I'm trying to make sure that I do things that he likes, and then they start working together, and Taylor was this amazing drummer too. I think a complete role reversal is happening. And all my chips are on this. Dave Grohl is the drummer on this album. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's doing things now. I think Taylor would have done this on this song. Complete fucking mind flip.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I will be the first person to say, okay, man, damn, I got that one wrong. There's no way Dave's allowing somebody to play on this personal an album.
No, I've heard that Dave played all the drums on the album. But to your point about, and which would be great to have the opportunity to interview Dave Grohl, which is going to be very hard to do because he is not going to want to fucking spend a lot of time talking to a bunch of mooks about this situation over and over again. But when you hang out with people, right, you start to act like those people. You start to catch on the phraseology of the two, or like us, people hang out with us. They're like, well, you fucking guys just have your own language when you talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like there's shit like that. And you do get that and you pick up that. And I'm sure shit. And I'm sure that, how do we know we're not flies on the wall, which we were, but like, Dave was like, fuck, dude, that's a cool part. I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like you do that. Doesn't matter how good you are at anything. You're always going to learn new shit. So maybe it was a subconscious thing. That would be the question to ask Dave Grohl. That would be a great fucking question to ask him to see what his response would be.
As I'm sitting around and I'm thinking about this and I'm exhausting all of this, I realize it gets, I start getting to that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, does anybody care who's playing the drums on the new Foo Fighter album? I mean, there's got to be just a little bit of interest, right? I mean, we're not talking about something that nobody's interested in. And that's my biggest fear.
No, people are interested. I'm interested. I'm pretty sure he did all the drums on this album. How would you let anyone? I mean, it's Dave's band anyway.
It's him. It's 100% him.
Yeah, and it only makes sense. Like, how would you have? Yeah, hey, Bob, come on in. I don't feel like. I think you're right. I think this is him tributing and kind of putting it all together in honor of Taylor.
One other thing. This is just an observation. Everybody was dissecting all of those early Foo Fighter songs, and they're waiting for Dave to do some kind of a tribute. And I remember hearing My Hero for the first time, and we all just assumed, okay, there it is. He's finally doing a song about Kurt. And he never really did. He never shared that with us. Coming in so raw after Nirvana, he didn't just sit around and pour his heart out about his friend that passed away. He just didn't do it. Now, he's a different guy. We're all different from when we were 25 years old, and now we're all the same age. So, Dave's 53, and hearing this song today, and you can even hear in Rescue, you can hear lines like, man, you can tell he's thinking about Taylor. This song today is just all about, it's an absolute tribute to Taylor. He did not do that early in his career. And he flat out said, My Hero, sorry, man. It's not just about one person. So, if you want to think it's about Kurt, that's fine. But yeah, he just didn't sit around and wallow about, Kurt Cobain. He didn't.
No. But didn't have the same relationship.
What he's doing here.
Yeah.
Look at how quickly he's turning around an album.
It's funny. I had the same conversation with my 14-year-old son today in the car. He's a huge Foo Fighters fan, right? We went to LA and we saw the tribute thing back in September. And we were talking about it. I said, man, this is a tough thing. I said, because there's a lot of, and I don't know how you block this out as an artist either, because I said, look, I would imagine, because we said the same thing. I said, the first song I like, this one's better. You got two great songs right now on a new album, which doesn't happen very often this late in your career. I said, if you look at any great art, it's either the first thing you produce, your first album, or some horrible shit happens. And then you've got a new muse. And look, man, it's why they call it a tortured artist. Great art doesn't come from sitting around looking at fucking rainbows. Usually. It usually does not. It comes from fucking awful things that happen. And this is an artist's response. I told my son, I said, but this is a hard thing because you're the Foo Fighters. You can't get all weepy and cry on a whole fucking album. You got to have some bangers. You got to have some fun shit in there, I would think. So there's a fine line you have to walk. There's got to be adults in a room who are going to be like, Dave, this is not an Alice in Chains record. This is not Mad Season. You know what I mean?
The Foo Fighters, nobody would ever, there's not a whole lot of mopey Foo Fighter songs.
No, none. And these aren't either. These two songs, if you haven't heard them yet, these are fucking great. I love them both. Yeah, it was just an interesting conversation about wow, where do you go? How do you handle this? And obviously they figured it out so far. These two songs, no problems here. I want the vinyl. They offers it in black record and a white record. Looks cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So,
who's your money on being the drummer when the Foo Fighters go out on the road?
My money's still on the Queen's kid. The guy, he's drums for the Darkness right now. And what the hell's his name? Rufus Taylor. Still there. I mean, he does look a little too much like Taylor. It's a little weird. The Taylor connection, the whole thing's bizarre. Why not? I'm still there. It could be anybody. I don't have any insight. I really don't. I know you're still what? Josh Freese, right?
I'm still rooting for Josh Freese. I am. I just think he would be such an awesome addition to that band.
Yeah.
There would be, and again, listen, the Taylor Hawkins, how much he loved Queen and how much he worshipped Roger Taylor. And then you got, the kid, his son looks like Taylor. And yeah, it's just Taylors everywhere.
It's a bizarre scene. Yeah.
And I get all that. And nothing's going to make me upset. I don't care. I mean, who's going to question any decision that Dave Grohl makes at this point? He's made pretty good decisions. So he's going to make the right decision for them. But I think the world needs to know who Josh Freese is. He's such an awesome drummer. I don't know if anybody followed the homework assignment of going back and watching A Perfect Circle's Judith video.
So good. It still holds up. It's so good. I watched it afterwards. I'm like, holy shit, is this a great song? God damn, is it good?
I mean, everybody's great in that video. Paz on bass, like we talked about, because that was on my mother list. But I said, go back and just watch the drummer and just tell me that guy should not be behind Dave Grohl.
Oh, yeah. And in the tribute shows, he was all over the place. He was popping up throughout both nights, the one over in London and the one in LA. He kept getting up, coming down, back up. Here's Josh, bam, bam. So he played a lot.
He was like the ultimate utility guy.
Yeah, and he can play anything, anywhere, anytime. He's amazing. Yep. He's absolutely spectacular. So we're going to find out. I would say this Sunday special, 2:00 Central, again, foofighters.veeps.com. It's called Foo Fighters, Preparing Music for Concerts. I think it's going to be fun. I hope it, all I know is I know what I'm doing Sunday now. I'm cranking the shit out of that and chilling back and watching it.
Yeah, Sunday at 2:00, man. It's going to be interesting. Do they just come right out and say, whammo, look who's in the band?
Hey, you see this guy? He's playing the drums. Now let's move on. Like, it almost has to go quick like that. You know what I mean? Like, just fuck it. Everyone in the world, especially these two dopes, have been making a deal about this for a year, Yeah. And there's a reason they're holding back, because they knew this would build a little bit of excitement. I really think it is. They could have just came out and said, here's our drummer. Who cares? Okay, that's nice. I feel like they've done this on purpose a little bit. And there's got to be a reason. I hope they explain it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, or are they out there right now on fucking Hollywood Boulevard going, hey, anybody know how to play the drums? I mean, does it come down to that? They've not made a decision?
I do.
Holy shit. Dude. Could you imagine?
No, I can't.
No, it would be too much. It would be way too hard to do.
I'd have to get on the treadmill, the cardio for a Foo Fighters show.
One song.
Dude, the cardio for a Foo Fighters show, you're right. One song, I'm dying. Okay.
One song, they'd be like, all right, we're going to need another guy.
One song, I'd be like, give me the... Hang on, Dave.
It's why Taylor looks so ripped, because he just fucking 2.5 hours of that.
Jeez. Keep talking, Dave. I'm not ready for the next song yet.
How about we just do an acoustic set with no drums? Please, God, help me. Oxygen. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we're going to take a short little break. We're going to do Tom Hanks. We're going to do our favorite Tom Hanks songs.
Before the break, let me just throw this out there.
Movies.
Let's do a little guy talk. I got a thing from a buddy.
Oh yeah. I forgot you got this thing.
We need some bro help. We got to gather. It's like Ted Lasso brings in, what is it, the Hounds, when all the boys get together and they're all and they all got boy problems, which, by the way, wish I had that years ago. That was pretty cool. Anyway, my buddy says, hey, I got this chick I've been with for about 4 months. And he says, look, he goes, fun fact that I learned the hard way, didn't really think about it. She's got a tattoo of her ex's name on her back shoulder. And he says, so anytime I'm delivering some back shots, I'm staring at the dude's name. How do we fix this? So he's giving it the old, hey, what's up, dog? And, he's just looking down going, ooh. Hey, Bob, or whatever the dude's name is. I didn't get that far into it. He goes, what are we doing about this? How do we fix this? I'm like, who's we? Like, you just go, hey, look, at this point, you gotta scratch that shit out or something.
So this comes up from time to time.
Because a lot of people got tattoos now. This has to happen more often than not, right?
Correct. So when this happens, if it's in the morning, I will take the time and I will say, okay, like you're talking about Ted Lasso, the Diamond Dogs. Assemble. Dogs. I need you all to assemble right now. I will just, it's as simple as this. This is how many people have this. It's as easy as saying, I need 3 of you right now that have somebody else's name that's not your child or your mom or your brother or sister tattooed on you, I need you to call. And I need you to tell this person right here what a stupid idea it is. Every phone line rings, bro. Every single phone line. Okay, well, here's what you got, Rod. Now, if somebody is trying to get it removed, this is a fact. It fucking hurts. Now, if you're one of these tough guys that doesn't think a tattoo hurts, then okay, you're cooler than me. It hurts. Every one of them hurt. Tattoo removal is worse.
Really?
So don't get something that you're going to have to get removed. Do not get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, or a husband. I hope you guys stay together forever. I really do. Okay. Love wins with me. Okay. I wish you the best. But there's so many other people whose name that you could tattoo on you that would even mean more. Sorry, but it does. Okay. Your kid will always be your kid. You don't have a kid? Great. You got a dog? Boom. Any of that is better than somebody that you're dating.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never thought that was a good idea in my entire life to put somebody's name.
It's the kiss of death. It's the absolute kiss of death. Once you get it on there, boom, you're on the clock. Nikki Sixx was dating Vanity back in the day.
Wow.
Remember, she was like kind of like a Prince girl, and she had her own
hot.
solo project.
Yeah.
And he got a big V on his arm. Okay. Well, his name is Nikki Sixx. So he had a contingency plan that if it didn't work out, the V and an I, now he's got Roman numeral 6. So he had a contingency plan. I remember talking to who's the director of Clerks? Smith.
Kevin Smith.
And he must call his wife Jenny's. Her name's Jenny. And he got it down his forearm. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I said, and then I told him the Nikki Sixx story. And he said, well, he goes, I could maybe turn it into Denny's. I'm like, okay, there you go. You got a contingency plan.
Hey, it's not as cool, but okay. Well, it's like Johnny Depp had when he was with Winona Ryder. He changed Winona forever to Wino forever or some shit. So you can change it without getting removed. But yeah, my guy's like, well, so how do we fix this? And I'm like, well, you just fucking tell her to get it fixed. Change it or cover it up or put up.
You can't tell her to get it fixed if you're dating. I don't think you can. I mean, how long? How long are they dating?
3 months.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's there. That's there for
another 3.
I mean, if you marry this girl and it's a problem, she should be cool with working with you on that.
Yeah, there's a conversation down the road.
She should be pretty cool. And you know what? They can do some great cover-ups right now too. And I don't think it's being petty. I don't. There's a lot of things as you get older. Jason, 50 now. Except you, but everyone else gets a little cooler as they get older. For some reason, you haven't caught on yet.
I have not.
But less and less, but you are like this, like less and less, you know this to be true, less and less bothers you as you get older. Oh, I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, but I would want it taken care of.
Yeah.
If I was to marry her. Well, Rob, what should it matter? You can't erase her past. I can erase that.
Yeah,
that's erasable.
Fixed.
It's painful, or we can cover it up.
Yeah. You know what my advice was? Tell her to keep a shirt on.
I mean, don't do it in the first place. I get all of that.
Put your hand over it strategically. I don't know. You got to figure this out, bro. He's like, yeah, it's just weird.
3 months, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, you got to ride this. You can literally ride this out for a while. Yeah, nuts. All right, well, I think we got that solved. That's good. What else we got to solve? Nothing? Cool. Let's do Tom Hanks' favorite movies. I like
Jason Ginty, still no ink.
No, I you know, it's weird. I was thinking about the other day, not about getting ink, but I was thinking about the fact that I don't have ink. And I'm like, and I just literally like the other day I started thinking about it. I'm like, if I really was thinking about it seriously, what would I get? And that's as far as I got. So there's a reason why I don't have ink. I don't have anything I want to get.
Is there any moral opposition to it, or
No,
is there?
Give a shit.
There's nothing like that, right?
No, nothing. No, I just never.
Henry ever say anything about it?
What? Why I don't have ink?
No. Has Henry ever brought up, hey, Dad, when I'm 18, can I get a tattoo? Or
Never said a word.
He's never mentioned ink at all.
Nope. And if he wanted to do it, I'd be okay with it.
At 18?
I mean, yeah, shit. I would certainly go, you might want to wait a minute because you're going to have different opinions in a year. You're going to have different thoughts. You're going to have different art that you're going to like, be smart about it. Don't just do it to be a horse's ass. Don't be doing it to be rebellious. If you want a piece of art, and that's what it is, in my opinion, a piece of art on you, think about it.
Yeah.
Just don't go to the fucking tattoo shop and go, I want that dolphin. Don't do that. That's a bad way to do it, in my opinion.
That's solid advice right there.
That's about all I got on the tattoo thing. I don't care either way. They're cool to look at. I like if people got tattoos. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. Nice. Is it okay to ask people about their tattoos? Like, wait, what's that mean? What's it represent? Or do people get offended by that kind of thing?
No, it's cool. It's like, hey man, I like that. Can you tell me about that? I mean,
Right.
I think that would be a good way to approach it now. And I think even if it's a tribute tattoo to somebody that passed away or whatever, it's fine. Now, you start asking people about, their teardrops on their faces and
No.
why you got that. And I don't know what it means when you killed somebody in prison. I don't know what the spider web on your elbow means, but there are some tattoos that have some meanings that you might want to stay away from.
Those I will definitely. The teardrop one I'm like, oof, no. I heard about that one years ago. I'm like, no, we don't ask questions about that. And the multiple ones mean, holy shit, you've killed a lot of people. Yeah, no, I stay away from that.
I see people that get solid bands.
Yeah.
And I believe those are like people that have passed away. So that might be another one to maybe stay away from. Well, I don't think you gotta stay away from it, man. If it's something that you like and you appreciate and they're putting it out there for the world, I mean, I would not mind anybody asking me about anything. Right. It's like, yeah, you have it out there. It's like, it's on your body. And I don't know. I don't know how the fucking rules work with anything now.
No, I've given up trying to find out. I sit quietly now. Hey, how you doing? I'm okay.
Can't even tell like a chick in the office that she looks nice. I don't know if you can even say that anymore.
Are you crazy? What kind of nut? How much HR time do you want to spend? How many forms do you want to fill out? How many videos
you can't
do you
tell
want
somebody
to watch?
they look nice. You can't say, hey man, it's a really nice dress today.
Oh my God, you're just fucking cans of worms just spilling out everywhere right now. Holy Jesus.
Terrible.
I don't think you could do that. I know it sucks. Because it's not that. It's the, your pants around your ankles and the whistle is really scaring them off when you say that.
My pants are up, buttoned, zipped.
All right. I just
Okay.
want to make sure, because that's bad.
Coming up, thank you, Melissa G, for her suggestion. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite Tom Hanks movies, one of the all-time great actors. But first, let's talk about New Orleans. And the next time you visit New Orleans, be sure and book the Pirate Tour. Still the only sponsor here on the Play Pants podcast. It's a French Quarter walking tour. It's like no other. Discover real pirate history of New Orleans. Book your tour at piratesofthequarter.com. If you already took the tour or if you just love pirates, listen, they've got T-shirts now. They've got the merchandise there. So make sure you check out the shop page at piratesofthequarter.com. Kick-ass T-shirts for sale now. Everything is at piratesofthequarter.com. It's an awesome tour. And I feel like I haven't been to New Orleans in a while now. So I'm starting to think when I can get over there, hopefully sooner than later. At Pirates of the Quarter, all the socials.
Quick question for you. Would you rather have to battle one bear-sized duck or 10 duck-sized bears? Oof. This is heavy shit, dude. This is a deep one tonight. I got to be honest. It's heavy lifting.
I think 10 duck-sized bears would fuck you up.
I can't believe we're answering this question.
I think they'd fuck you up. I think that there's 10 of them. I mean, well, they're the size of ducks.
You just kick them. Hunt them.
They're all coming at you at once.
Like little mini Ewoks coming at you. 10 of them.
Yeah, I'd go with the 10 duck-sized bears. I think I could kick a lot of them. I think he could shake off. Yeah, I would go with that.
A bear-sized, this is the weirdest conversation. One bear-sized duck. Okay, think grizzly. That beak is going to be like 2 surfboards being.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
You're done. The little
that'll
guys,
fuck you up.
10 of them though. That's you gotta your head's gotta be on a swivel rod. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. So
Wait. Can you beat up a 7-year-old?
probably not at this point.
One 7-year-old.
If I had to, I'm trying to think of 7-year-old. Yeah, I probably could.
2.
Gets a little harder then.
Can you take 2 7-year-olds, Jason?
I might be able to. I'm not much
3.
of a fighter. 3. Nah, I'm dead.
You can't take on 3 7-year-olds?
I bet they would kick my ass. I'm not super strong. I'm a little guy. Why am I fighting 7-year-olds, by the way? What did they do?
When the hell have you ever seen a fucking bear-sized duck? Okay.
Oh.
If you're allowed to ask dumb questions, I can.
That's true. Yeah, well, I don't think I would want to. 3, I would probably be okay. 4, now you're getting. If they were smart and strategic, they would definitely kick my ass. 4 of them would, absolutely. Because
I think I
7-year-olds
can handle 5. I think I could take 5 7-year-olds.
You're a bigger dude. Yeah.
6 is a problem, but 5 7-year-olds, I'm hanging in there with them for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. This has gotten really weird. I didn't mean for this to happen, but yeah.
What's going on? You said Tom Hanks has a movie or a book coming out?
He wrote. I should have looked this up. Fuck, so bad at this. He wrote a what do you call it? Nonfiction means real, right? And fiction means
nonfiction
fake.
is real. Fiction is fiction is Star Wars.
He wrote a fiction book. So he just wrote a story.
About what?
I don't know. I didn't read it. I'll fucking figure it
You
out.
were all excited. You're like, yeah, let's go with Tom Hanks. He's got a book coming up.
That was as far as I went into it. I didn't really get in that much research. You know, I don't do a whole lot on this.
For fuck's sake.
No way. I was waiting.
I can't believe that's the first time that's been said on the pod today.
I wanted to be real careful on when I brought it up. I wanted to make sure I was going to kill. So I was holding it and holding it and holding it. Dude, I spent an hour the other night just fucking scrolling that poor dude's.
Is that dude's awesome, isn't he?
And you know what? He's so like genuine with it too. Like, no way. I can't believe I fucking didn't know that. Like, I'm the same guy. I'm like, I didn't know that either. Like, there's so much shit I learned about that dude.
The no way guy on Facebook. I don't even know if he's got other social media platforms. I'm assuming he does. I know he's selling merch now and stuff. I'm like, you go, boy. You go do you, man.
Tom Hanks' book.
Who cares? If it's not a tell-all about his story and him bagging Rita Wilson, nobody cares. I really don't care about a fiction Tom Hanks book. So
The Making of Another Major Motion Masterpiece, a novel. That's what it's called. So I don't fucking know. I ain't reading it. I got enough books to read here. I ain't gotten that one. So let's talk about his top 5 movies in our opinion anyway. You want to go first?
Is he bigger than Tom Cruise? Meaning,
wow.
I know he's taller. Is he bigger? And I don't have all the box office numbers and everything. Who's a bigger star?
Boy, that is great because they've both been around forever from the 80s. They've, you think about Tom Hanks, it seems like he's always got movies coming out, and Cruise is like he's got these big gaps, but you got to think about Tom Cruise. All those Mission Impossible movies are fucking great.
Like his are blockbusters, right? Like
they're all
how you would characterize and how you would actually the definition of blockbuster. That seems to be every Tom Cruise movie. I don't think Sully is a blockbuster. You know what I mean?
But big. But yeah.
It winds up being big though. And there's got to be something for volume. I mean, Tom Hanks must have more movies out than Tom Cruise.
I think he does.
He has to. I wouldn't even think that would even be close.
Right. But
who's a bigger star?
Man, well, you know how you get white hot when your movie's coming out. If you do Tom Cruise when Top Gun got released, well, there ain't nobody touching him.
Who's a bigger celebrity today? Who's a bigger star? Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks? Respect the exercise.
Tom Cruise gets more fucking white hot heat because he doesn't do a lot of interviews, so there's more want. Tom Hanks will fucking talk to anybody. You know what I mean? He always feels that way. Tom Hanks
does seem like he's rolled up on people and taken selfies with people and done some of that cool stuff. And while I do think Tom Cruise is cool, I don't think Tom Cruise can get around like Tom Hanks can. Tom Hanks with a hat on and kind of going out. And I think I think Tom Cruise is a bigger celebrity.
Yeah, I think because he's not as available. You know, it feels like he's very private, very quiet. It's Scientology, I guess. I don't know whatever goes on there, but he's very like he just doesn't show up until all of a sudden, oh, it's movie time. Okay, I'll go out and I'll do a couple of interviews and then I'll go back into hiding and disappear again, you know?
Did you see, and I never watched one episode because I'm out of business with late night TV.
Yeah.
But did you see anything with James Corden going away?
I did not watch any of that. The only time I ever watched him was if like the Foo Fighters were on the carpool thing or the Chili Peppers.
Carpool karaoke, sure. And that was his one bit. You got to give him that. I mean, he seems like he's a really talented guy. As a matter of fact, now that I'm watching a few things on him, I didn't know he was that talented.
Super talented.
He got Tom Cruise on his last show to come on and join a Broadway play with him. And they went out there maybe doing Lion King or something. And Tom Cruise shows up and that's what kind of made me think, Jesus Christ, it's the biggest celebrity in the world. And he's helping out James Corden on his last show. Now, I don't know if they have a ton of history and there's these legendary appearances that he's had on the show. Yes. I don't know, but I think Tom Cruise has gotten James Corden to do some of those crazy stunts with him over the years so that he said, okay, I'll do something with you. And I think Corden comes from maybe a theatrical background.
Yeah.
So he got him to go, but they were a part of the Broadway play. They were a part of the actual show and he got him to sing. Jeez. So that was cool. I mean, I think Tom Cruise is a pretty cool dude.
No, when you go look on YouTube, there's you got to go see the first one so then you can see the second one. Years ago, Tom Cruise took James Corden and surprised him. So Tom Cruise didn't do an interview with James Corden. He didn't go sit on the couch. He invited him out and then surprised James Corden, who's a bit of a doughy dude, and took him up and they skydived. And James Corden does not fucking like heights. He does not want to skydive, but his genuine fear in Tom Cruise, just being the cool guy that he is, gets him through it and they do it.
Yeah.
That was like 5 or 6 years ago. So before Top Gun was finally released to theaters, I don't want to ruin it, but Tom Cruise invites James Corden out to an airfield and it just gets fucking crazier from there.
It's weird that he aligned himself with, that's not the biggest guy in late night. It's the biggest guy in Hollywood. You would think that you're going to align yourself with Fallon or Kimmel,
Right? Nope. He did, and it's spectacular. The flying and the whole thing they do, and those two bits are fucking great. They're really funny.
Then it makes a little more sense why I saw what I did. Anyway,
yeah,
we both agree. All right, Tom Cruise is bigger, but who would be more fun to have a beer with, Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks?
I feel like Tom Hanks is just a guy that sit there and he'd talk to you for a while. He would just chill out and take all your dumb questions.
Hands down, he would be the guy to have a beer with.
Yeah. Although I'd love to do it with Tom Cruise. And I feel like after a couple minutes, he'd be like, okay, bored. And then be like, all right, we're good. You know what I mean? I feel like that he's got his limits.
He's intense. He can be intense. He can be intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
And like Hanks just seems like, yeah, let's have a couple of brews.
And again, could be completely wrong here, but yeah, that I would say Tom Hanks. Yeah. So what are your top 5 favorite Tom Hanks movies?
Man, there's going to be a ton of repeats between our lists, huh?
I can probably say at least 3.
Okay. In at number 5, all the Toy Stories.
What? No way.
All the Toy Stories.
I had to. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. No, absolutely. Those are fucking great. Woody is the coolest.
Phenomenal franchise. It's a phenomenal franchise. I mean, and it even, when you start getting to Toy Story 3 and 4, like it's like tear jerky. I mean, it's like, geez, these are good movies, man.
Yeah.
My kid's not that into them yet. And I don't want to force it because like anything, you force something on your kid and it's like, oh, I don't like it. If she gets a whiff that like I like something and she doesn't like it, then like, well, we're doing what I want to do. So I'm really treading lightly on, I want her to be into those, but she's not into them yet.
She will, because they are great. But they feel a little bit older. But man, you know what? What a great, I remember when I first saw the first one and my daughter was younger. So I'm watching it and I'm like, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. The toys come alive when you're not around. Why did this never be thought of before? It's so awesome. You know,
Number 5 is all the Toy Story franchises. Number 4, Castaway.
oh,
Castaway,
Wilson.
he's got to act. It's just him. He loses all the weight. He grows that's his hair, they said.
Beard.
I mean, all of that. It's just, you talk about, Robert De Niro and Raging Bull when he lost all that weight, nobody does it better than
Christian Bale has done
Christian Bale, what he's done to his body, or, look at even, it just seemed like that was one of those movies that took a long time to make. They had to naturally let him lose the weight and do all of that. It was great. And he's acting, and his co-host is a volleyball for half of the movie. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Plus, I mean, who hasn't never dreamt of being stuck on an island by yourself? Like, oh, I could do it. I could do it. And then you start watching the movie, you're like, no, I couldn't. I'd be dead. I'm not that smart. I'd be dead.
Dude, when he jams that fucking ice skate into his mouth to get rid of that tooth,
that is,
he just passes out afterwards. And that's when, remember, then after that is when he catches the fish, and he totally looks different. That's like he jams the ice skate in his face, and then that's a wrap. We'll see you guys in 6 months when Tom loses 30 pounds.
Yep. And comes back.
That's when he looked different after that. And I hadn't seen that movie in a long, long time.
It's such a great flick. You're right. I love that movie.
Number 3 is Forrest Gump. Awesome.
How do you
absolutely awesome movie.
Brilliant.
Number 2 is Apollo 13. Nice. Number 1 is Saving Private Ryan.
There you go. That was easy. Didn't hurt a bit. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I mean, I couldn't have. I've never done a more obvious. Yeah, no shit, Rod. Have I seen every Tom Hanks movie? No. But those are the best ones. And I'm not gonna put Bachelor Party on there. It wasn't his best movie, but I love it.
It wasn't his best work, I will say. Good list. I you know what? I went back and forth on a couple, and then I'm like, nah, I really like this, but then I'm like, nah, shit. So I'll change this tomorrow. But this is my 5. I really, really, really like number 5, The Da Vinci Code, when it came out in 2006. That's where he's in Paris. He's unraveling that what is it? Dale Brown. The hell's his name? The author.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown. I knew I'd get it eventually. That whole code where that guy's like the albino dude's whipping himself in his own back and all that shit. And they're driving around Paris, uncovering the codes. It wasn't exactly his best performance, but something about the movie, I love it. And he was great in it.
He had weird hair. Langdon?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
because it happened so long ago, I don't know that I've ever read a book before I saw a movie. And that's the one time, because I hate when fucking people say it, but it's the only time I can say it. So the book was better.
Of course. The book is almost always better. It's
shove it up your ass.
The book was better, you well-read ass.
I don't know another movie that I read the book, and it is such a bugaboo of mine, but that's the only movie I think I can say that to. The book was better.
Yeah, of course. Number 4, Apollo 13. Loved it. I mean, it's so great. The whole thing is just, that whole movie is just great. The look of it from the 60s or early 70s, whatever year that was.
Dude, can I tell you, I've seen the movie 100 times.
Yeah.
But the time that I saw it, that I was the personal time that I saw this, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you before, but your firstborn and her mom, they came here to Houston, and they came to visit, and I took Julia to NASA.
Oh yeah.
So we went to NASA, and she's, I don't know, like 13, she's in that age range. We go to NASA, and we're seeing everything, and you're seeing Mission Control and everything, the old one. And they even say when you're looking at it, like, this is where they filmed the movie. This was really Mission Control. This is where they used to steer it from, but now we have a whole new Mission Control. But the old one is there preserved, and that's where the movie's shot. We drive back from NASA. In my other house, I had a movie theater room, dude, we watched Apollo 13. I got to watch it with her after we were at NASA the same day, dude.
That's cool.
And it was awesome. And you'd like to think that she was just blown away. I don't know if she was. I was, though. Like, I just thought that was such a cool experience. That's one of my favorite movie watching moments of my life.
Yeah, that is cool, man. Wow. That doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The whole time the movie's playing, we were right there. Oh, yeah, we were right there. Yeah, we were right there. And she was excited about it. So that was cool.
That's good. That's good, man. Number 3, A League of Their Own. That's a baseball chick movie. And he's the coach.
He's great.
There's no crying in baseball. The whole, his fucking drunken, I don't give a fuck attitude to those girls. He's an asshole the whole time. I mean, it's so great. And it's kind of off. It's not him. He's not that lovable guy. He's kind of a dick the whole time. And that's what makes him so cool, you know?
It's a great movie.
It is an awesome movie.
It's a great movie. There's a little bit of history involved in it. And you're right. He isn't that, Sleepless in Seattle, that lovable guy. So help me God, if you have Sleepless in Seattle, I'm going to jump through this Zoom camera and punch you in the nose.
Number 2, Sleep. No, I'm kidding. No, I can't watch that shit. Number 2, Gump. And number 1, Private Ryan. There you go. That was easy. And I hate that I don't have Castaway on there because I do love that fucking movie. Love that movie.
And this is what I don't know. I mean, did Castaway win a ton of awards?
I don't think it did. I think what I don't like about Castaway was the ending. Like, he's just fucking, and the fact that he held that stupid FedEx box with the wings on it. I'm like, all right, that's a thin asset, but they had to end it somehow. You know what I mean? Like they're doing great. Like, he went and saw the old wife and he's like, oh, sad. I'm so sad. Okay, then just drive off into the sunset. I guess that was the way to drive off into the sunset. Oh, he's gonna go meet that girl, dude.
Yeah, that ending
felt weird.
The ending's not great.
Didn't love that part of it. But I guess, how do you end that? He just went back to life. Okay, great.
It could have been worse, but it wasn't a great ending. But yeah, I don't know that Castaway won a ton of awards. Like, neither one of us had Philadelphia on there.
Oscar-winning performance in that.
So I feel like Tom Hanks, there's no question how huge he is, but I don't think he's been nominated. He's not like the male Meryl Streep. There's only one Meryl Streep, I guess.
Right.
But I mean, every time Tom Hanks is in a movie, there's always got to be a little bit of, hey, is he back in the running for something on this? Because he's so good, and I think he chooses his projects wisely,
Well, when you're that level, you get the best scripts coming at you too,
Dude, Bachelor Party is awesome. And the other one that I wanted to mention, which clearly it's just such a long time ago, it's early in his career, and not Joe versus the Volcano, and I think he did some suburb movie. But dude, The Money Pit is legit. Great. The Money Pit is legit fucking funny, laugh out loud funny. And that's right when the Shelley, what's her nut from Cheers,
Long from Cheers.
She was at the top of her game as well. But he is legit amazingly funny in The Money Pit.
Yep.
And they're working on this house and it tears them apart. And it's a classic story, one that I talked about. You're renovating a house. Oof. Man, you can get a little chippy with your spouse, when we have a lot of work getting done. And there's a scene in the movie where he falls in a hole in the floor. And he's like, bread, banana, fat. And he's like he's got little dollar bills and he's shooting paper airplanes and the wife can't find him. I laugh my ass off. It's so funny. Yeah. It could have been in my top 5. But these are just, every one of them is a banger. Like those are his bangingest, amazing movies. But man, The Money Pit's great.
I love that movie. And you know what, a movie I also like a lot is Catch Me If You Can. That's the one with Leo DiCaprio, and he's trying to chase him all over the world and stuff.
Is that more a Leo movie?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, Hanks does a very unique role in it. Captain Phillips was good, but not great. But I thought he played.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he was great in it. but
He's great in that.
Wasn't a home run. And then Big is fucking fun.
Big was the other one. Big, I think Big is his best early movie.
But see, he's got like the golden age of Hanks. You can say, okay, you know what? Early 80s, he was hot. You know, you had the Big, you had Bachelor Party, you had the Money Pit, and
Turner and Hooch.
And then you kind of got quiet. And then the golden age of the 90s with Gump, Private Ryan, Philadelphia. He was just banging them out. Monsters.
Right.
Monsters.
But full black, curly-haired Tom Hanks. Big is his best early movie.
Oh, it's a great role.
I mean, it is awesome how he does that. Almost like there's a little bit of genius in how Will Ferrell portrays Buddy the Elf. And I got to think that he had to borrow a little bit of what Tom Hanks did to act like a little kid as an adult.
That makes sense. No, I see that.
You know, like it was so good. And I don't know how many things that Tom Hanks had to look at to kind of create that. But I think Will Ferrell had to watch Big before he did Elf.
Yeah, because there's a lot of that elements. Like, how do you become a kid? And then you have that curiosity and that wide-eyed look in your face all the time, you know?
Absolutely, 100%. So, yeah, Big would have been my sixth.
Yeah, shit. Oh,
Big would be number 6. I'd have to get Money Pit. I love the Elvis movie. I don't like the way it was told. I don't like it coming from Colonel Tom Parker. I don't like his Colonel Tom Parker. I hate the real Colonel Tom Parker. Is that Tom Hanks' fault that I don't like Colonel Tom Parker? Why no Tom Hanks mention in Elvis?
I'm 100% with you on that one, because I always feel like it's just, I'm watching Tom Hanks in a fat suit, and I wasn't fooled ever. I was never fooled.
If it made you hate him, then Tom Hanks did his job. You know, if he did that, and if he got that emotion out of me, he did his job. But I just still,
it should have been a nobody.
I hate the story being told through Colonel Tom Parker, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't mind that part of it. It was kind of a unique angle to come at it. But if it was just anybody, because you know what? You want to elevate Elvis, right? You want that kid to just shine. I think having Tom Hanks in that distracting Tom Hanks fat suit, it just felt weird to me. And it was always felt like, oh yeah, there's Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker. I could never get past him. You know,
they didn't need him.
They didn't need him. Now they might have thought they needed a big celebrity to go on and promote this movie. You know,
because the kid wasn't proven yet, but the kid was so good that I didn't feel like I was distracted by Tom Hanks. I would have been distracted by anybody in that suit and in that role. I don't know. He was. I mean, it's not like he was a killer. There's something that was still very hateable about him.
Oh yeah.
That it's just, I can't find one nice thing to say. And it's a part of Elvis's story, so it has to be told, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Tom Parker is a fuckface.
He's a piece of shit. I mean, the real dude was just garbage and just ruined everything. I mean, you know, Elvis would have probably had an opportunity to live a little longer had it not been for that guy. You know, and I'm not saying anything that not a bazillion people haven't already said by saying that.
So I'm 3 years older than you. Did you watch Bosom Buddies when it was on TV or no?
You know what? I was pretty young, but I remember seeing it going, why are those dudes wearing dresses? And I just never got into the show. I would assume it was probably funny. I've never really seen it.
Him
concept.
Peter Scolari?
Yeah, Peter Scolari. I remember it well. Yeah.
They couldn't find a place to live, and there was some sort of an apartment complex that only allowed women to live there, so they dressed in drag, and that's how they got in and out of the building every day, and they were fooling everybody. And obviously it's a silly 30-minute sitcom.
In the 1980s, there were men wearing dresses on TV. That's pretty ballsy
dude
stuff.
Tom Hanks plays a thug and opposes Fonzie in an old Happy Days. That's how old Hanks is.
You'll never, and we've talked about this, the Family Ties episode where he fucking punches Alex P. Keaton. He's
Oh,
Uncle Ned or
shit.
something. He's Uncle Ned and he's an alcoholic. And at first you're like, you love the guy and he's so cool. And it's like, oh, it's cool, Uncle Ned or whatever his name was.
Yep.
And it comes out, he's like drinking the vanilla extract out of the spice shelf. And he's an alcoholic and he ends up punching Alex P. Keaton. And you're like, nobody punches Michael J. Fox. What the hell is this? He was in that. And Family Ties is old as fuck. That dude's got to be a vampire. He's like 66 years old, I think. I'm pretty sure he is like 66.
66. Yeah. I mean, he was probably young, but yeah, he was a thug type character. There's an episode of Happy Days.
Really? I didn't know.
And then Fonzie put him in his spot. Don't worry. The Fonz took care of him. There's nothing the Fonz couldn't do.
Yeah, he's 66, born in July 9th, 1956. So yeah, 66. And he's got 1, 2, 3 more. He's got 3 movies coming out in the next year and a half. This dude doesn't quit working.
What do you know about Chet Hanks?
Nothing. Is he the weird fucked up kid? Because I know he's got Colin Hanks, who's an actor director who's doing pretty well for himself, right?
He's really good. The first time I ever saw him was the movie Orange County with him and Jack Black.
They were great. That was a great movie.
And he kind of sounded like his dad. Yeah. And it's like, wow, okay. And he's really good in everything that I've seen him in. And he's the one that made the Tower Records documentary.
That's right.
All Things Must Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really talented. He's really, really good. And then you have Chet. Chet Hanks. I'm just going to warn you, it's kind of like Googling Steven Tyler's feet.
Oh.
If you start looking into Chet Hanks, he's pretty hateable.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He kind of had a whole hot dude summer going on a couple years ago. He's kind of an embarrassment because his mom, Rita Wilson, can sing her ass off.
Yeah.
I don't know Tom Hanks to sing in any of his movies, but I haven't seen them all. But Rita Wilson can sing her ass off. I mean, she has like a killer voice. And Chet Hanks tried to go in that direction and kind of rapped, and he was embarrassing. He was absolutely embarrassing in the social media videos that he posted. Tom Hanks' son.
It started out with the word Chet. I think that's where they started wrong.
Chet Hanks. Yeah, white, hot dude summer, white dude summer, something like that. You can go Google it.
No, I probably won't. You know what? I'm pretty sure I will not take the advice on that one.
Yeah, I don't want to give out like false homework assignment on this podcast because you will not feel good about yourself. It's just, you will feel dumber for watching anything that Chet Hanks has on the internet.
I didn't exactly feel smarter after watching about 45 minutes of what no way videos the other night, but I was like, this guy's at least doing some good for the world. He's showing us, hey, look at these little life hacks as a dude you can have in that garage. You know what I mean? So I don't feel bad about watching that. I'm not gonna sit around watching Chet Hanks videos, man.
You could though. I'm just saying they're available.
Probably won't. Probably will not be doing that, Rodney.
I have some stuff in a folder, and it's
no,
it's right next to my Corey Feldman folder. So just to give you an idea of where you would prioritize, you someday might be feeling like, you want to see something of Corey Feldman, maybe a performance, and then maybe you'd want a Chet Hanks to break it up. But you would have to be in that same mood.
Like that is a real scrapage of the bottom of the barrel, as they say.
Yeah, but I think that gives you a better idea of, what folder to put it in.
Like Corey Feldman, I'd be like, all right, I got some curiosity. I can see what this guy's got going these days. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. Well,
it's horrible. Yeah. It's bad. It's embarrassingly bad.
I don't want to do it. No, thanks. Any final thoughts, Rod?
Yeah, just trying to get the Rod Ryan Show Cares store up and running. And I'm hoping to have the store for the first time ever. It might be up next week before Memorial Day weekend, which I know people got, grilling and chilling and, and that's not why you do Memorial Day weekend. Okay. It's those that made the ultimate sacrifice, but there's no shame in getting ready to grill and chill and hang out at Jason's pool and do all that fun stuff.
No.
So I'm trying to get the store up and running. That means we're going to start raising money for backpacks for kids. So it's weird. It's hard to get people fired up because kids are still in school, not for much longer, but I'm going to start asking people for money for backpacks for kids to start school next year very soon.
Let the kids get out of school. Like, we don't want kids
I know.
to hear
You got to work ahead, bro. You got to work ahead. So I'm working on all the t-shirt designs and all of that. And I got all the designs set. So we might have the store up and running next week.
Dude, my final thought is some parental guidance, Rod. My son is he's moving on. He's going to go on to high school next year. He's very excited about that. All good, right? So he's just coasting these last week or so at school. Like, I mean, I go, dude, what are you doing at school? He goes, nothing. And I'm like, well, how many more days could you miss? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to work with a kid here, because he's not doing anything. He's bored and he hates going.
There's no final exams or anything like that.
Already done it all. Good. This is just those extra days at the end of the year in case there's, a fucking hurricane or something they got to take.
Has he still got a couple of weeks? I mean, what is he looking at?
He's got the rest of this week and part of next week, and then he's done. So
that's it. He's out before Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. So the other day, there's a bit of a dust up at the school. He was not involved, but he said it got pretty wild. And, a bunch of kids got, after a fist fight at school in the lunchroom, those kids were told, you are no longer allowed to come back for the rest of the year. Okay. And this is going to go on your record and all this shit. So we're in the car after listening to the Foo Fighters song this morning on the way to school. And I said, so what do you got planned for school today? What's going on? He goes, nothing. I'm going to sit there. I go, here's what you're going to do. I go, you find a kid next to you that's not too big and not too small, and you go punch him in the face and get into a fight. Boom. You got the rest of the year off, dude. And he goes, what? He goes, I don't think that's probably the best advice to give.
Yeah, no, dude.
Go, well, you're looking for an out, right? Here we go. And then I said, well, we'll go on your record. And, it'll go on your record. And I said, don't punch anybody. Don't be dumb. But he's like, I couldn't, because I said it pretty serious. He looks at me. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Does he, how old is Henry now?
14, going to be 15 soon.
So are camps out of the question? Obviously, he's too young to get a job. He's in that weird space. Is there plans for him to do something? I mean, you guys are probably going on some family vacation. I know you guys go to the beach a lot and stuff like that, but is soccer and all that stuff over with for the summer too?
Soccer's almost done. He's got a couple of weeks of prepping for high school. They got some different camps and shit that they do for that to get him kind of warmed up for it, which is, I think, fuck, I wish we would have had that. I walked in one day and boom, here you go. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we? But yeah, no, he's got that, but really not much. It's a weird summer. He's got nothing super planned. He's got a couple of little things. Some people have said, hey, you want to come work for me for a week or two and learn the ropes on this business? And I'm like, fuck yeah, he does. So he's got some opportunities. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of cool that way. So it's like he can't officially work or anything, but he's smart and he gives a shit. So he's going to go learn a few things. I'm like, let's do it. He'll be hanging out doing nothing mostly, which is great. Fuck, dude, you got your whole life to do dumb shit and work all summer. I don't mind him just pissing around all summer. And it isn't as long as you think. I mean, most kids, in the South, I think he's done right before Memorial Day. He's going back at like the first week in August. It's a short summer, Yeah,
but they're getting more time off during the year,
which is weird to me. Let's just get it done. Let's just hammer through this shit and give me a long summer.
Yeah, it's weird. They're giving more time off, and I think there's some kind of a, there's a teacher shortage, and they're trying to give teachers more time off. And yeah, I'm finding it difficult. My kid has weird times off. And it's like, what do you mean you have a mid? It's not spring break. There's some mid-spring, early year break. I'm like, what is this? What do you call this? You were just off for Christmas.
I know
there's some weird things happening right now with kids in school with time off.
The teacher thing is the scariest part because even my son's he's like, man, I've had 6 science teachers this year. They don't stick. I'm like, how can you learn anything when you keep turnover? And it's like, and the kids recognize it. And it's like, I get it. This is not shitting on teachers at all because they've got one of the hardest jobs on earth and they don't get paid shit. Who wants to do that? The beating you take. And I can't imagine, like, like when we were in school back in the 1900s, that teachers had a hard job then because we were assholes, but they had a little more leniency to kind of keep us in line. I can't imagine, you got these moms groups now and the Karens of the world. How can you be a teacher? You can't teach anything anymore. You can't say shit to anybody.
Yeah,
I can't imagine being a teacher. Can't even fucking imagine.
No, not at all.
Anyway.
All right, guys. Thank
enough.
you for checking this out. I'll see if I can get back to my normal sitch, but this wasn't so bad.
It's worked just great.
This wasn't so bad, but download, smash the subscribe button. Don't miss any episodes. Check out old episodes. Go back to the Aerosmith episode to see if somebody farted. And at Playpants Pod on all the socials. What else did I forget?
No. Here's the thing. You'll know if it was me because I'll start smiling. Okay, because I can't do it without laughing. I'm fucking 51 years old. It's still funny.
Oh yeah, farts are funny.
Like you'll notice, if you hear something and you see my face change and I'm laughing, I'm telling you right now, it was me then, because I'm not going to hide that shit. It's not going to happen. Anyway, that's enough. I'm out of here.
All right, guys, thank you for checking this out.
Let's go. It's time. Put on play pants.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. See us on our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages at Playpants Pod.